Hi, Luz. So today I'm going to talk about math and technology. To introduce, technology is nothing without mathematics. Maths plays a very important role in this. It is used in most of the aspects in the creation of technological devices, in the operative systems, in the design of devices, on the basis of applications, among other aspects. Always, mathematics is present. From the get-go, I chose three subtopics to work on, which are types of math used in computer science, math used in the development of devices, and algorithms used in cryptocurrency. I looked for information and there is a lot to talk about. So because of this problem, I decided to concentrate on the last one. So let's get started on what is a cryptocurrency. To start, I'm going to explain what a cryptocurrency is. A cryptocurrency is a digital asset that uses a cryptographic encryption to guarantee its ownership and ensure the integrity of transactions and control the creation of additional units. That is, prevent someone from making copies as we would, for example, with a photo. These coins do not exist in physical form, they are stored in a digital wallet. Maybe you have heard the word Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. In fact, it was the first cryptocurrency to be created. On October 31st, 2008, a link to a paper authored by Satoshi Nakamoto titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was posted to a cryptography mailing list. Nakamoto implemented the Bitcoin software as open source code and released it in January 2009. Nakamoto's identity remains unknown. On January 3rd, 2009, the Bitcoin network was created when Nakamoto mined the starting block of the chain, known as the Genesis block. Embedded in the Coinbase of this block was the text "The Times, 3 January 2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." This note references a headline published by The Times and has been interpreted as both the timestamp and a comment on the instability caused by fractional reverse banking. So I'm going to talk about what is a blockchain and how does it work. A blockchain is a growing list of records called blocks that are linked together using cryptography. Each block contains a cryptographic hash, which is a mathematical function that converts an input of arbitrary length into an encrypted output of a fixed length. Thus, regardless of the original amount of data or file size involved, its unique hash will always be the same size of the previous block. A timestamp and transaction data, generally represented as Merkle tree. The timestamp proves that the transaction data existed when the block was published in order to get into its hash. As blocks contain information about the block previous to it, they form a chain with each information block reinforcing the ones before it. Therefore, blockchains are resistant to modifications of their data because once recorded, the data in any given block cannot be altered retroactively without altering all subsequent blocks. Blockchains are typically managed by peer-to-peer network for use as a publicly distributed ledger where nodes collectively adhere to a protocol to communicate and validate new blocks. Although blockchain records are not unalterable, as forks are possible, blockchains may be considered secure by design and exemplify a distributed computing system with high Byzantine fault tolerance. Now I'm going to talk about how does mining work. Bitcoin mining is the process by which new Bitcoins are entered into circulation, but it is also a critical component of the maintenance and development of the blockchain ledger. It is performed using very sophisticated computers that solve extremely complex computational math problems, and cryptocurrency is painstaking, costly, and only sporadically rewarding. Nonetheless, mining has a magnetic appeal for many investors interested in cryptocurrency because of the fact that miners are rewarded for their work with crypto tokens. So now I'm going to talk about the maths involved in the mining process. Imagine, sorry, I'm going to use the pencil of the presentation. A ver si lo puedo usar. Here. So imagine a new block is being added to the blockchain. So there is an unknown number. So let's call it X, which is the series number or hash for the new block. For making new hashes, you use a mathematical function, convert it into an algorithm, which receives a text file, letters, numbers, all that, and it is assigned a number in such a way that firstly, the number depends on the text. If you change a comma, number, anything, the result has nothing to do with that. And secondly, the way of assigning it has to be very complicated. If you're given the final number, it is impossible to know where it comes from. So we need to find this X to link this new block to its information, and that the hash creates a number that starts with 30 zeros using the hash generator algorithm used called SHA-256. With the 30 zeros, you can use standard form because it is easier to calculate, given that the 30 zeros is a very large number. So you have to generate random numbers because it is impossible to find even though you know the algorithm until you get what you want. So you start doing creating random numbers until you find the correct, and that is the miner's job. That's when the miners come in. The 30 zeros is an added difficulty for miners to find it in no less than 10 minutes. The one who mines that new block gets a price of 12.5 Bitcoins. Who has the more capacity of calculation in the computer has more attempts and more possibilities to get to the price. It's like buying a lottery ticket. And that is why there is a lot of specialized machinery that do the work. So miners do use this algorithm and find numbers by generating random combinations. The 30 zeros, as you know, is an added difficulty to find the number in no less than 10 minutes. And the one who mines it, to conclude, gets a price of 12.5 Bitcoins. In conclusion, the existence of algorithms like SHA-256, the added difficulty of the 30 zeros, and the price given for mining are all blockchain security layers that make it impossible to falsify a block. All miners have the same block to be added in the chain. And when someone finds the X, they all check if it's correct. If the majority are in their agreement, they try it. If not, it is not added. For this, they try with what they have, and if the block has been traded for the alleged cheater, that X is not going to work and that trap is not going to thrive. So this is a graph which shows the value of the Bitcoin in the last month. And you can see how unstable the value is. It has a drastic fall here and a drastic fall here, and it's starting to go up again, but the maximum price was over $50,000. And I think that is like $53,000, and now it is like $47,000. It has a drastic fall. It is very unstable, the economy of this crypto. So this is like every day this happens. This is very common with the Bitcoin because it's very unstable, and investors lose money very often. Well, that's all. Thanks for watching. See you, Luz.